say it. I feel like I've said this before, and I actually wrote a poem about it. I just got to fine tune it. There's a reason why they don't want certain things to be said in the classrooms. Because the history of this country reveals an evil that has been covered up for years. And they don't want to expose that, which we need to expose it, because I don't think they understand that history is repeating itself in some aspects, a lot of aspects. And like, there are parts I just want to skip, but I'm making myself listen to it. But I'm reading 1619. It's a lot. It's a lot. And it's time for us to be honest. Like, for any narrative to be painted that this America was discovered peacefully, that was built peacefully, that's a lie. That's a lie. I'm realizing when you read books like this, stamped, even cast, certain things start to run into each other because you're hearing the same thing, but then you hear some things that you never heard before. So I learned about Elmore Bowling, Bolling. And the story of Elmore Bowling, if you have never heard that story, I need you to go find out who this man is and what he represented and what he tried to accomplish. But because people were threatened by a black man being successful, they killed it, literally. And this is what I need fearful white Americans. And I say fearful, I want to say racist so bad, but it's really you're fearful. You have been ingrained with an ideology that we were never humans, so we don't deserve what we rightfully deserve. So there's countless stories. The reason why lynchings happen is because fearful white Americans who are racist, you were afraid that we were going to take over, that we were going to take what was yours, that we did not deserve to have land, that we did not deserve to have houses, that we did not deserve to look at you in the eye, that we could not deserve. I mean, you're trying, because you couldn't have slavery anymore. So you try to find a way to imprison us mentally. And like the way they used to, the fact that they would chop people's heads off, the fact that they would burn people alive for being black. But y'all don't want to hear about this. But Elmore Bowling, what I'm learning about his story is the inheritance he tried. They're looking at inheritance, generational wealth, and how he was on the path to set his family up for generational wealth, but they killed that. And they showed the trajectory of what happened to his children, his grandchildren. And the way they broke this thing down, this is chapter 11. This is chapter 11 in the book. Y'all, the way they broke this thing down and showed, and you wonder why the wealth gap is the way it is. And that's why we have to be very intentional. But we're still playing catch up. When you hear about the policies, the premiums, how people can just up and take your land because they want to, how you try to have a business, but people will burn down the business, how you have a whole town that is thriving, which people talk about Greenwood in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Is so many other towns that this has happened to, and it's sad. And that's why we should have things like the Fearless Fund and other organizations and other things that be to make sure we get the money. The fact that Black business owners, people of color, it's harder for them to get funding versus white businesses. We're still playing catch up. It's not fair. Now, I believe in my God. I believe in that he will cause everything to come to me. But not everybody has that belief. Not everybody has that structure and has that positivity to push them and to achieve. But at the same time, what do we have in place as business owners, as corporations? I'm not going to say the government anymore. I'm not saying we shouldn't vote, but we can't solely rely on the government anymore. We never should have relied on the government. That's what the Black Panther Party was all about. Y'all not helping us, so we got to help ourselves. And they saw that as a threat. They weren't trying to go through the streets with guns. What they were doing was taking the law and interpreting it and showing them this is the law. We know our rights. And they were trying to empower people, and they destroyed that. So again, that's why it's so important for us as Black people to unite with other races, and other races to unite with us, and us make this work and grow our businesses, grow our wealth, and destroy the powers that be.